Welcome to this Jamovi tutorial. In this video, we'll be learning how to conduct a one-sample t-test in Jamovi. The one-sample t-test is a statistical test used to determine if the mean of a sample differs significantly from a known or hypothesized population mean. It's particularly used when you want to compare the average of a sample to a specific value. So let's get started with the process. So we will use this example as our data. So first, open Jamovi on your computer. If you don't have it yet, you can download it for free from the official website. So to perform a one-sample t-test, you'll need the data. So let's use this data as example. So if you have already your data in the spreadsheet, so you can import it into Jamovi. So let's open our Jamovi. So by clicking on the open button in the top of the left corner, selecting your file and clicking open. So we have the data now. So after your data is loaded, find the analysis tab at the top of the screen and click on it. From the drop-down menu, select the t-test and then choose one sample t-test. So a window will appear on the left side of our screen. So you'll now need to choose the variable you want to analyze. So we will analyze the battery life. So drag the variable from the list of available variables to the variable box into the analysis pane. So you can drag it or you can click the variable and click this arrow. So let's set the hypothesis. So let's go back to the problem. So the global market reported that the average battery life of American laptops in 2023 is the mean of 29 hours. So that is our hypothesis. So let's input here the 29. So since our problem is for a two-tailed hypothesis test, so let's set this test value here. And to check the normality test, if our data is normally distributed, let's click the normality test. If we want to see the descriptives, we'll click this one. So after setting up the analysis, Jamovi will automatically calculate the one sample t-test. So you'll see the result displayed in a table that includes the t-value. Next is the DF or the degrees of freedom. Next is the p-value. So if the p-value is less than your chosen significance level, or typically that's 0.05, or in our problem is 0.1. So you can reject the null hypothesis, suggesting that the sample mean is significantly different from the hypothesized value. So based on the p-value, you can make a conclusion about whether the sample mean is significantly different from the hypothesized population mean. So if the p-value is greater than 0.1, or in our problem, the result is not statistically significant, meaning the sample mean does not differ from the hypothesized value. So once you completed the analysis, you can save your results by clicking File, Save, or exporting your result to different formats such as PDF or CSV for reporting purposes. That's all for one sample t-test. So now let's move on to the independent samples t-test. So the independent sample t-test is a statistical test used to determine if there is a significant difference between the means of two independent groups. These groups are unrelated and are compared to see if their average scores on a particular variable differ significantly. So common applications include comparing two groups, such as control group and an experimental group, for example. So again, in this topic, we will use this data or example. So here, based on memory theories, the teacher hypothesized that condition A or object naming would lead to significantly better memory compared to condition B, which is color naming, and she sets the significance level at alpha equals to 0.05 for a one-tailed t-test. Okay, so let's open our Jamovi and let's copy the data here. So we transpose the data and we input the conditioning in the memory, which is the number here. So after that, after you enter your data, in the top menu, click on the analysis t-test and the independent sample t-test. So this will open the analysis options in the right panel. So in the grouping variable box, select the variable that represents your group. So this condition. And in the test variables box, select the variable that represents the measurements you want to compare. So this memory. So in the assumption section, you can choose whether to assume equal variances between the groups or not. By default, Jamovi assumes equal variances, which corresponds to the standard t-test. So if you suspect unequal variances, you can select the options for Welch t-test instead. So this one. Or for assumption checks, you click for the normality test. So again, a low p-value suggests a violation of the assumption for normality. So if your p-value is less than 0.05. So once you have, you can check the box for the descriptive statistics to view the mean, standard deviation, and other measurements or measures for both groups. Next. So once you have set your grouping and test variables, so simply click outside the menu to run the analysis. Then Jamovi will then output the results in the panel below. So this one. So the output will include several key pieces of information like the descriptive statistics, the t-value, which the t-test statistic that is used to compare the means, the degree of freedom, number of observations -2 for two groups, and the p-value, the significance level of the test, the confidence interval, the range of values within which the true difference between group means is likely to fall. So again, if the p-value is less than 0.05, we reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there is a statistically significant difference between two groups, while if the p-value is greater than 0.05, we fail to reject the null hypothesis, meaning there is no significant difference between the two groups. So using Jamovi, performing an independent sample t-test is simple and intuitive. So the software generates easy to read outputs that help you quickly assess the difference between two independent groups. So the key to independent t-test is to ensuring that the groups are unrelated and that the assumptions of normality and equal variances are reasonably met. So now let's proceed to one-way analysis of variance or one-way ANOVA. One-way ANOVA is a statistical test used to determine if there are any statistically significant differences between the means of three or more independent groups. It is a powerful technique commonly used when comparing multiple groups based on one categorical independent variable and one continuous dependent variable. So, in this tutorial, we will walk through how to perform a one-way ANOVA in Jamovi using a simple dataset compare the means of multiple groups. So let's focus on this example. A group of resorts owners conducted a study to see if different birth generations prefer different services. So they surveyed 272 people from 4 different birth generations and asked them to rate their Likert scale survey about preferences and services. So the data is in the attached Excel file. So this is the Excel file where we can get the data. So let's open our Jamovi. So we already load our data set. So once your dataset is loaded, go to the top menu and select ANOVA from the analysis options. And select one-way ANOVA from the drop-down list. So in the independent variable box, select the continuous variable that you want to compare across the group. And in the factor box, select the categorical variable that divides your data into groups. So the birth generation. So before running the analysis, it's important to check the assumptions of ANOVA, which include normality of the dependent variable within each group, homogeneity of variances, which is a similar spread of values within each group. So you can check these assumptions by clicking the Assumptions tab and selecting Leibniz test for homogeneity of variances and Shapiro-Wilk for normality. So as you can see, the normality test is below or less than 0.05. But the homogeneity of variances test or the Leibniz is greater than 0.05. So for assumption checking, the Shapiro-Wilk test was used to assess the normality, and the test resulted in a p-value of this one. So this very small p-value indicates a violation of assumption of normality, meaning the data for preferences on services is not normally distributed. However, ANOVA is still fairly robust to deviations from normality, especially with the large sample sizes like the one in this study. So on the other hand, the Leibniz test for equality of variances showed a p-value of 0.0355, which is greater than 0.05. So this suggests that the assumption of homogeneity of variances is met, meaning the variances of preferences for services are equally across the group. So after selecting your variables and checking the assumptions, so let's click this. So the output will show the ANOVA table, which includes the F static and the p-value. So let's click first the descriptive table. So if the p-value is less than your chosen significance level, which is usually 0.05, you can reject the null hypothesis and conclude that there is a significant difference between the groups. Additionally, Jamovi will show you the descriptive statistics, this one, for each group, such as the mean and the standard deviation. So the post hoc test, this one, post hoc test, If your ANOVA is significant, you may want to know which groups differ from each other. So click on the post hoc test, this one, post hoc test, and choose suitable test. So example, the Tukey or the equal variances to conduct pairwise comparisons between groups. So this is the result of the post hoc test. So if you want to flag the significant comparison, you can click the flag significant comparison. So if there's an asterisk, it means there's a significant comparison. Okay. By following these steps, you can easily perform one-way ANOVA in Jamovi and analyze the results. So this test is useful for understanding whether different groups have statistically significant differences in their means, and Jamovi makes the process straightforward and accessible for all the levels of users. So now let's focus on the Pearson R. So Pearson's correlation coefficient R is a statistical measure that quantifies the strength and the direction of the linear relationship between two continuous variables. So the variable of R ranges from -1 to 1. So R is equals to 1 indicates a perfect positive linear relationship. If the R is equals to -1, it indicates a perfect negative linear relationship. And R, when it equals to 0, it indicates no linear relationship between the variables. So in this tutorial, we will show you how to calculate and interpret Pearson's correlation using Jamovi. So we will use this example and data. First, we will open our Jamovi and load the data. So I already load the data. So once your dataset is loaded, click on the regression at the top menu and then drop down menu select the correlation matrix. So after that, drag the variables you want to correlate into the variables box. So this should be continuous variables. So let's check if it is continuous variable. Nominal. So let's change this into continuous variable. Okay. So let's go back to correlation. So you can select more than two variables if you want to calculate the correlation matrix between multiple variables. So let's select here the acceptance rate and the graduation rate. So after selecting the variables, we can click OK or Run button to compute the Pearson correlation coefficient. So this is the computation. So Jamovi will display a correlation matrix, this one, showing the Pearson correlation coefficient for each pair of variables. So the matrix will also include the p-value, this one, to help you assess statistical significance. So usually the p-value, again, it is less than 0.05 indicates a significant correlation. So the strength and direction of the correlation can be interpreted based on the value of our R. So again, if the R is greater than 0, positive correlation, and R is negative or less than 0, negative correlation, and if R is equals to 0, no linear relationship. So to flag the correlation, if there is significant correlation, you can click this one. So once the Pearson R has a asterisk, it means it is correlated. So in the plots tab, you can create a scatter plot to visually inspect the relationship between the variables. So using the scatter plot are useful for detecting linearity in the correlation. So you can also make a scatter plot here. You can click exploration, then scatter plot. So you enter the acceptance rate as x-axis and the graduation rate as y-axis. Click linear. So this is the scatter plot. So if you compare with this plot in our correlation matrix, it is the same. So by following these steps in Jamovi, you can easily calculate Pearson's correlation coefficient, interpret the result, and visualize the relationship between two continuous variables. So Jamovi simplifies the process of statistical analysis, making it accessible for beginners and experienced users alike. So for the result, so since the p-value for the Pearson's correlation coefficient between acceptance rate and graduation rate is 0.0003247 or less than 0.05, which is much smaller than a significance level of 0.05 alpha, this means the researcher rather will reject the null hypothesis. So now let's know more about the simple linear regression. So simple linear regression is a statistical method used to understand the relationship between two variables. Specifically, it models the relationship between a dependent variable, which is the y, and an independent variable. So by fitting a linear equation to the observed data. So the equation is y, or the dependent variable, equals the beta 0 plus beta 1 times the independent variable. So we will use this data from Pearson R for our simple linear regression. So we already loaded this data in our Jamovi. So once your data set is loaded, click on the regression and then select the linear regression. So in the linear regression model or module, you'll see two main boxes. So the dependent variable and the covariates. So the dependent variable, this is the variable you want to predict, and the covariates, this is the independent variable. So drag your dependent variable, which is the graduation rate or our y, and the independent variable, which is the acceptance rate. So after assigning your variables, click OK or Run button to perform the analysis. So the output will show this one, the regression coefficients for intercepts beta and the slope. So along with their standard errors, the t-values, this the t-values and the p-values, and this is the standard error. So the intercept, the expected, which is the intercept, the expected value of Ry when x is equals to 0. So the slope, so the change in the independent variable for a 1 unit increase in x. So you can also check, or the assumption check, the normality test. So our normality test is it is greater than 0.05. So the output will also include the R squared, this one, which indicates how well the model fits the data. An R squared value closer to 1 suggests a good fit. So the residual sections will show the differences between the observed values and the predicted values, which you can check for patterns. So under the plots tab, you can choose display scatter plot. with regression lines fitted to the data. So this provides a visual representation of the relationship between the independent variable and dependent variable. So this one. So to answer this example, so the simple linear regression equation is graduation rate, which is the dependent variable, is equals to our intercept and times the acceptance rate, which is 0. So the intercept is 100.50. So this intercept may not be meaningful in a real-world context since acceptance rate of 10% 0% do not exist but is part of the mathematical model. So moreover, the slope of negative 0.058, which means for each 1% increase in the acceptance rate, the graduation rate decreased by 0.05 or 0.58%. So this negative slope indicates a strong inverse relationship between acceptance rate and graduation rate. As the acceptance rate increases, the graduation rate tends to decrease. So to summary the table, the linear regression analysis explores, so this is our table again. So the linear regression analysis explores the relationship between acceptance rates and the graduation rate among U.S. universities, revealing several important findings. So the model shows a strong positive relationship with a correlation coefficient of 0.84, indicating that 71% of the variability in the graduation rate, this 71 or the R squared, explained by the acceptance rate. So the adjusted R squared value of 0.69 and RMSE of 2.73 suggests a good model fit, and the intercept, although statistically significant, is not practically meaningful, while the slope of negative 0.58 demonstrates a negative relationship, where a 1% increase again in the acceptance rate leads to a 0.58% decrease in graduation rate. So this relationship is statistically significant since the p-value is less than 0.05. So let's check this one. 0.05. So assumption checks including the normality test confirm that the residuals are normally distributed, satisfying the requirements for linear regression. So in conclusion, the model explains a significant portion of the variation in graduation rates and highlights a negative relationship with acceptance rate. However, additional factors such as financial aid or faculty quality could further influence graduation rates, suggesting the need for further exploration so the model fits the data well and meets the necessary assumption. So by following those steps in Jamovi, you can easily perform a simple linear regression analysis, interpret the results, and visualize the relationship between your dependent and independent variables. So Jamovi again simplifies the process, making it accessible even for beginners in statistical analysis. So the last topic in this tutorial is the multiple linear regression. So a multiple linear regression, or the MLR, is a statistical method used to model the relationship between one continuous dependent variable and two or more independent variables, which is the predictors. So it extends simple linear regression by allowing you to analyze the combined effect of multiple predictors on the one or on the outcome rather. So in this tutorial, we will walk through how to conduct a multiple linear regression analysis in Jamovi. So we will use this example and this dataset. So in the example, a model is set up that predicts the body weight of a person. The dependent variable is thus the body weight, while the height, age, and gender are chosen as independent variables. So let's open our Jamovi and the data Once the data is loaded, so you can click the regression and the linear regression. So in the linear regression module, you will see two boxes, the dependent variable and the covariates. So the dependent variable, this is the variable you want to predict. So we will put the weight here. And the covariates, these are the independent variables or the predictors that may influence the dependent variable. So the height, age, and the gender will put here in the factors. So after selecting your variables, click on the OK or run bottom to run the multiple linear regression. So this is the result. So Jamovi will provide the following result, which is the regression coefficient. The output will show the intercept and the coefficient for each independent variable, the standard errors, the t-values, and the p-values. So these help you to assess the statistical significance of each coefficient. A p-value less than 0.05 typically indicates that the predictor is statistically significant. So also we have here the normality test to check if the data is normally distributed. Autocorrelation, the QQ plot. So we have different, the if test, the ANOVA test. So let's go back. So the R squared here, this is the value indicates how much of the variation in the dependent variable is explained by the model. So a value closer to 1 indicates a better model fit. So the adjusted R squared. So this value suggests or this value adjusts the R squared for the number of predictors in the model, helping you assess your model fit when you have multiple predictors. So this assumption check, or it is important to check for assumptions in multiple linear regressions, including the linearity. Here, the QQ plot. So the relationship between the predictors and independent variables should be linear. The homoscedasticity, the residuals errors should have constant variance. The normality residuals, the residual should normally distributed. So you can check these assumptions in the residual plots under the plots tab. Select options like and QQ plot to visually check the assumption. So under the plots tab, you can also visualize scatter plots for each predictors, showing the relationship between predictors and the dependent variable. So additionally, you can plot the residuals to check the fit of the regression model. So by following those steps, you can easily perform a multiple linear regression analysis in Jamovi, interpret the results, and visualize the relationship between multiple predictors and dependent variables. So Jamovi makes this complex analysis accessible with this simple interface, making it ideal for both beginners and experienced users. So that's all for this tutorial. Thank you for watching.